Alright. Hey there, guys. Fort Bob here. Yes, I'm still alive. I'm not dead. Um, I have not abandoned this channel. I know I haven't done videos in a little while. I got a little burnout on the whole space exploration thing. Right now we're just in kind of grind mode with it, with resources and things like that. So there's not really anything kind of interesting with it. It's just grind to build up resources, build up production, before we can start moving into um, doing the spaceship, which I think is what you guys want to really kind of want to see. So I've backed away from filming for a while on that. In addition to that, now that it's April, things have started to warm up. Been starting to do things around the house here, what have you. Been able to get outside and do some stuff outside. And that being the case, I've been giving a bit of love to my other channel, which is basically just kind of a vlog of all the crap that I'm doing around here and what have you. So I've been doing a bunch of work on that. You know, I'll put the link down in the description if you guys want to see whatever. Check it out. But basically, what it comes down to is only so many hours in a day. And I've got stuff to do around the house. I've got stuff to do to get ready to try and sell this place and move. I've got stuff to do just to keep, things going around here, as it were. So I've been pretty busy with a lot of that. So I haven't had a lot of time to do the game thing lately. Plus, I kind of needed a break from it. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not playing games. It's just I'm not been recording them. Of course, you guys know Cyberpunk 2077 came out. I played that thing all the way through. It is what it is. It's not a bad game. It's not terrible. And there's some other odds and ends indie games that I've been farting around with and stuff. So, but what we're doing here today is I've been thinking about doing this for a long time, and I never got around to it. I heard it in the discussion once, and I thought it was a really good idea, and I was going to do it, and I haven't done it. Basically, when you start a vanilla Factorio game, not when you're starting the scenarios and the mods and stuff like that, but when you're just starting a basic game, it's the same exact grind over and over and over. So what I thought I would do is I'm going to make myself a starting map that has just the basic stuff on it, and I'm going to save that, and then I can use that anytime I want to start up a new game. So what do we got here? Alright, so for resources, I set them all to 200 for frequency, 200 for richness, and I left them at 100 for size. I thought that was a good compromise on getting started, and I can grow from there and what have you. Terrain, water, I left it at 100%, but I cranked my coverage down to 33% because I don't want these huge tracts of nothing but water. Trees I left alone. Cliffs, I'm a little torn on cliffs. Cliffs are kind of a love-hate kind of thing. I like the idea, but I don't like the way they generate. As you guys know, with cliffs on, immediately you get this circle around your starting area of cliffs. It's not random enough, in my opinion. I think it needs to be better randomized so that you're not always get this big ring of cliffs around. So as a compromise, I cranked it all the way down to 17. I left them on, but I cranked it all the way down to, I think this is like 17%, whatever it is. Yeah, 17%. And I cranked the continuity down to 25%. So you don't get these big, long cliff walls. Moisture, terrain type, I left the same. Enemies, I left it on. It's not on peaceful mode. I did set my starting area to 150% as opposed to 100%. Whatever. Advanced, I've played this game enough that I don't need to go one at a time from a damn research queue all the time. So I'm going to leave this on always. That's the only changes I've made to this. And then I clicked through the map a bunch of times until I found one that was okay. I wasn't going to click 47 bazillion times to get the perfect map. There is not the perfect map. But what I wanted is I wanted a map that had a decent amount of trees, but that I wasn't in the middle of a giant forest that I constantly had to cut shit down. The next thing I was looking for, I didn't want my resources to all be in one clump where they're all mashed together and you have to sort everything out at the beginning and this and that and the other, because you really just don't have the, I mean, with the splitter you can sort, it's just a pain in the ass. So I didn't want them sitting right on top of one another. The next thing I wanted is I wanted at least a little bit of oil in a reasonable distance. I could have gone, you know, say here, it ended up being here. I'm not going to complain. It is in a cliff, so we're going to have to deal with that. And I wanted some uranium in a decent, reasonable distance. So this kind of meets all of those requirements, checks all the boxes. So my thought process is, I want to start this out. I want to get like a little starter kind of thing going where I want a smelter. I want my mining set up. And that's really it. That's the two main goals, is get my mining set up and get a smelter system set up, that I have the very basics, and I can grow from there in whatever direction I choose to later on down the road. I don't have any mods turned on. This is a completely vanilla game, so I can go back and I can turn mods on later and add stuff to this and what have you. This just gives me a starting area. So that's kind of my thought process. We're going to build this up until I have my mining and my smelting, and then we're going to save this game. And this will be our basic starter map going forward anytime I just want to fart around in this game. Now that's not to say that I can't, you know, use a different map if I'm doing some sort of a mod that requires a different map, like C block or something like that. This is just going to be, for me, for basics. So that's the idea behind the map itself, and the initial start of this, is that I'm going to, let's not stand in the fire. I'm just going to kind of get a starting map going. I'm going to pick up all the little shit from the wreck, but I'm going to leave the main wreck just for the hell of it. You know, as I play my different games, I can take it out or leave it, you know, leave it in, but at least let's get it out of the way. Now, that doesn't answer the question, though, of what I'm going to do long term as far as Factorio goes. Am I going to do a new series? Am I going to, I don't know. So what I've been thinking about, and you know, you guys can kind of tell me your thought process on it. If you think it's a stupid ass idea, tell me it's a stupid ass idea. But if you think it's a stupid ass idea, tell me what you'd like to see instead. Is that I'm going to, let me rephrase. Xterminator does a thing where he has this base tour series that he does, and I like it. It's really cool. I've learned a lot from A, looking at other people's bases, and B, listening to him analyze them and things like that. So I think it's a cool deal. I think it's a cool idea. I certainly don't want to steal his thunder per se, or anything like that. But what I was thinking I might do is I like to use a lot of blueprints in Factorio. I rely pretty heavily on my blueprints. And I have a habit of going back to I've got a set of blueprint books that I import into every game and I use in every game, and you know, use the same ones over and over and over again. Well, there's a website, and I'm sure you guys know about it, for Factorio blueprints. And I have gotten some interesting blueprints out of there over the years. But I think that there are a lot of blueprints that are like the same blueprint, you know, or generally the same blueprint. Everybody uses the ones that work really well, you know, and what have you. And I think there's a lot of little hidden gems over there, or there might be a lot of hidden little gems over there. And what I thought I might do is, once we get this map going, is that maybe I'll start going through that site and just snagging up a bunch of blueprints and plopping them down, seeing how they work, how I can incorporate them into my game, my opinions on them and stuff like that. I'm of course by no means an expert, but I thought it would be neat to maybe kind of play around with the various blueprints that are available. So I thought we could do like an initial series where, you know, or an ongoing series where I just check out blueprints, you know, and add them into my factory, and the factory must grow, right? So as we get new stuff and we can expand out, and that was part of the other reason I was, you know, kind of pre-planning with regards to water, is I wanted to have space to move and expand without having to put down a crap ton of landfill. And you know, I wanted to be able to, you know, spread my wings, as it were. So I don't know, what do you guys think of that idea? Like I say, if you think it's we need one for that, and maybe one for stone, and then we're going to need one for down there, and then I think these need a couple, so we'll just, there we go. Let me know what you think. Let me turn Alt on here. If you guys think it's a totally stupid idea, by all means, you know, tell me it's a stupid idea. If it's something you'd be interested in watching, let me know that it's something you might be interested in watching. You know, I'd be curious to know. That being said, if there are blueprints that you guys find that you think are kind of neat, or interesting, or have the potential of being, by all means, let me know, and we will check them out, take a look at them, you know, whatnot. Let me take part of this. I want part of this wood. I want to make a couple of chests. Oops, not that many. You know, give me your thoughts on it. I'd love to know your thoughts on it, as well. You know, maybe you guys maybe that's something that interests you guys, maybe it's not. But it was something that I thought might be, I don't know, entertaining. Wood, yeah, we need a couple more pieces of wood. We'll do that. Alright, and then we're going to need a generator. So, what I'm doing is I don't want to get too far up the research tree, but we're going to need, if we're going to do our smelting setup, we're going to need splitters. So we're going to have to at least get that far up the production chain. So right now I am basically just setting up the very bare necessities. I feel a song coming on there. Just to get us going. Once I have us going, we're going to save this. And that'll be that. And then we can go from there. And once we're going, I can then put it in, not take it out. Then we can start building this up, building our production up, get our basic base going, and we start looking at some of these other blueprints that people have. Because then we'll have the production to be able to support just building them. One of the first things I'm probably going to do, just for convenience sake, as much as anything else, because you guys know how much of a pain in the ass it is to do blueprints without having bots to do blueprints. So I'm probably going to, do we have a pump? We have a pump, we have that, we have that. Maybe we want a couple of pipes. So I'm probably going to do nanobots right off the bat. Add that mod so that we can slog our way through getting blueprints down until we get regular bots, just to kind of make our life a little bit easier. It's just going to be more of a quality of life thing than it is anything else. But let me know what you guys think. If you think that's something you'd like to see, and if it's not something you'd like to see, let me know that too. And if it's not something you'd like to see, what would you like to see? As I've said, I'm not necessarily driven by subscribers and things like that, but that does not mean that you guys are completely ignored and completely out of the loop, because I run out of ideas too. So I would be more than happy to know what you guys think. We need 36. There it is, 36. That's that. And then we can start making red signs. So we are going to want we're going to want this, but right off the bat, I think we're going to just to be safe, we're going to get the SMG, we're going to get the gun turrets, basic automation, walls, and then logistics. Alright, so we need 10, 20, what's that? No, that's 20. No, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 60. Alright? And that should give us all of the research we need. So we need 120 iron, basically. So while we're waiting on that, let us go down here to Awada. This is where our starting order is. And now this is obviously not going to be our final power plant. Duh, there's no room, right? This is just going to be so that we can have a place to do a little research. Now we can start making our little red bottles of goodness. So there's 10. That's our first science, right? And the reason I want my SMG first and I want my turrets is so that I can build enough smelters, or build enough miners, or mining drills, whatever you want to call them, to be able to start getting our production up to levels that are acceptable. Again, we're not going to go too far up the tree. In fact, as far up the tree as we are right now on what our expected researches are is as far as we're going to go with the saved start base. In fact, we'll see. Yeah, because we've already got mining drills. We can do mining drills at this level. So we don't have to research that. We don't have to do any more research after the stuff we've got queued. And I really don't have to do wall research. But because I know we are going to be increasing our mining, I know we're going to have pollution. So I just want to be prepared for it. Not because, see, we're still here. We don't have any biters. We're okay. But I know we're going to get past this area soon enough. And then we're going to be in trouble. So I want to at least be ready for it. Alright. So what can we start building? Well, man, I don't want to just dump all the research in all at once. You know what I can do? We can do this, because one of the things slowing this down is the availability of product, raw product. So, alright, so there is SMGs. So if we put 2 into this, take that out, put that in, because we're going to want poles. Now that'll keep up better because it'll start to, it won't be waiting on our stuff. So if we do 2, 4, 6, 8 electric drills. Is what we're going to want to, just to get started. That, if we got 8 electric drills and we got our belts run to just a small set of smelters, that to me is a good starting point for any future base. Alright, so there's 10 more. What are we doing? Need 10, 20, 40. And we've got 2 is 10, is 12. What do we got down here? Is 17. So we need like 20 more science. And they're 2 per, so we need 40 iron, right? There's 20. Let's go over here and get some more coal. So, now that we're out of winter, how'd winter treat everybody? Everybody doing pretty good. I myself have finally, in the last week or so, been able to finally get my COVID shot, my first one. I got the Moderna. So I have to go back for a second one beginning of the month, which is not that far off. I'm kind of happy about finally being able to get that done and get that out of the way. I have some odds and ends issues that 5, 10, 15, 20, there we go, we'll call that. I have some issues that have the potential to cause me grief. So I'm glad to be getting that. I have some small lumps in my right lung that the VA in its infinite wisdom brought me in, gave me a lot of tests, and poked and prodded and what have you, and then said basically they don't know what's causing it, they don't know what it is, they don't know how to treat it, but what they're certain of is it's not service connected. It's not the result of my time in the military, but they don't know what it is. So, you know, it is what it is. But it does sometimes cause me issues. I get lung infections sometimes in that lung somewhat easily in the winter. Chest cold kind of things. I've had to do breathing treatments in the past for it and what have you. So I'm glad to be able to get my shot, get that going, get that out of the way. I think we're going to be short. Yeah, we're going to be short. It looks like 1, 2. So, you know, I got that done and out of the way. And as long as people don't get any stupider than they already are, and we don't get too many mutations and variants between now and whenever, hopefully we can finally kind of get past this thing, at least the majority of it, and start to move on a little bit from there. You know, although if history is any indicator, something to keep in mind was the first wave of the Spanish flu was not the one that did a lot of people in. It was the second. I know, well, don't know, but I have heard about, have anecdotal knowledge of, whatever you want to call it, a lot of the terribleness that was that whole thing. My grandfather lived through it. So, in talking to him and, you know, what have you over the years, I am, I guess, aware of some of the potential, I guess, if you will, problems that we could face were things to go bad or worse or whatever. I unfortunately live in an area where the type of individual around here is more predisposed towards pushing back against it. We had a lot of that occur, and what have you, and I have my opinion of those people and what have you. So, you know, it is what it is. But hopefully we get past this, we get through it, and life goes on. And if it doesn't, well, you know, that's life. We go the way of the dinosaurs. One thing that this whole thing has kind of proven out, at least in my own mind, is that we live in a world of zombie bite hiders. And I know there are some folks who are going to not like my saying that, not like my stances on things, not like me expressing my stances in my videos, And this is what I will say to that. It is my channel. It is my videos. I will say what I want. And anybody that does not like that is more than welcome to exercise their rights and freedoms to move along. So there you go. I have my opinions. I am an old, crotchety, retired military NCO, and I don't have a problem with telling it like I see it, as has been discussed here in the past. So take that for what it is. Take it for what it's worth. Alright. So there's that one. I'm putting this one in the middle to connect them. It won't stay there because the belt will go up. But the two on the sides, oops, will stay where they are because that's kind of the pattern I use. Let's do 10 more because we're going to need them to be able to move down to there. Alright, so there's that one, there's that one, there's that one. We'll do one for stone. We'll do a set of miners for stone. And then we can start working on 23, we need 11 more. Now, which direction we want to face them? I guess we're going to do the same direction on each of these. We'll end up moving them around after we get going, and that's okay, because we'll run through these particular patches pretty quick. Oops, how do I get a pipe? There we go. So there's that. You know, once we get going, we'll burn through these patches. So I'm not getting too exact with where to put the stuff. We can always pick it up and move it later. Alright, so now what we have to start doing is we have to start making belts. You know what? That flashy up here is driving me nuts. Alright, so we're going to want belts, and we're going to want coal coming in, and then we're going to want our smelters. So I'm only going to do, just to get started, we're going to do, bring this down, right? And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be our smelters. Alright, and then we're going to do and that's going to be enough to get us going with those. we'll have to see how we run our coal, because we're going to need to run coal over there too. Alright. So let us and then this is going to be the one that's coming down. You know what? Those are too close. I know we're going to infringe on this stone, but that's just too damn bad. We needed to start. We don't need as much stone to start as we need other things. Right? Right. That'll work there. Alright. So now we're going to need inserters. And we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 per. So this is why I say this is why I want to do this setup and get it going, because by doing this we don't have to fart with it anymore, because this just takes forever to get it all done. Alright, that's 3. What do we need for splitters? We need 16. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our iron going. Even if we have to hand jam coal into our iron to start, we're going to get our iron going. We need to get more iron production so that we can get this going. Alright, so we're going to want 1, 2, 3. Oh, that worked out nice. One splitter is all we need. Thank you. Alright. So, splitter. There's our coal, there's our iron. Right? Right? Okay, good. Let's go down here and get some power to this. course we don't have enough. 5, 10. Yay, alright. Now obviously we're going to have to bring coal down there. And we're going to have to get coal to these guys. But now we will have increased our production, which was our goal. Right? Right. Now, if we wanted to, we could do this, so that we don't have to stand there. Yay. Now, we're going to leave this run for now. Because we need it. We need all the iron production we can get. To continue to build this. But we're just about to the point where we can save. And once we hit that point, I think we're going to call it the end of this video. So the goal is to just get up and running. Put same thing, one here, that's going to take 2 poles that time. All right. All right, so now we just need that. And we're going to need it underground. One of those. And we're going to want one of those. Because we're going to want to put a burner inserter down here at the power plant. And we are going to have to, at some point, increase our power. Oh, of course. But for right now, there we go. We are up closer to here. We don't have to keep running back down there to fuel that up pretty soon. We're going to want a splitter and a splitter. Alright. You can go away. So we're going to want 2 splitters. And we're going to want to start dragging our coal over. Alright. We're almost there, guys. Only took us an hour. I know. That's slow as shit. If I were to be doing a speed run. Of course, if I were to be doing a speed run, I would have different production levels and everything else, or different richness levels and everything else set up. I'm not crazy enough to try and do a speed run. On a straight vanilla map. There is just no way in hell that I would ever try to do that. I'm just not that crazy. So says the guy who once built how many thousand accumulators was it? Yeah, well, that's life. Alright, let us 5, 10, 15, 20. Let us start, because we're going to need to power those up. So let's drag our poles over. At least as many of them as we can. Alright, so there's that. That goes into there. That's going down to there. We can split off there somewhere. Oops. Right. Alright. Oops. I want that. There we go. So now that will start mining coal, which will feed that. It'll feed down to the power plant, and in a moment we'll feed right there. Right? Right. And then we can do the same thing here. Oops. We can start putting that in a box for now. Just to put it somewhere. There we go. That is everything. Now we're going to want to build a second one of those, because we're going to need it, and we're going to need 2 more of those. Will this fit? Yes, it will fit. Alright. So that's on its way down. Now, can we squeeze a pole in there somewhere? Yes, good. Yep, there we go. That'll have that. We'll have power in a minute. We don't have power right now, but that's okay. Because as soon as that little bit of coal gets down there, we will have power. And that will give us what we need. There you go. See, we got power. Alright, so we got coal production. We have iron plate production. We have copper production, and we have stone production, right? And we have power production. Alright, so there it is, guys. That was our goal. This is going to be, like I say, our jumping off point for any scenarios from here on out. It is not pretty by any means, but it gives us some starting copper, some starting iron, some starting stone, some starting coal, all the things you could ever want. How's our pollution? So yeah, so our pollution's going out a little bit. Alright, so there it is, guys. That's going to be our start. Let me know what you think of this whole blueprint series, and we'll go from there. Alright, bye.